So, you're thinking about global sourcing. It's on your radar. Well, if that's the case, then Bangladesh is a name you absolutely cannot ignore. But let's be real. Beyond the headlines about garment manufacturing, is it the right strategic move for your business? We're going to break that down.
Okay, let's just start with the sheer scale of this thing. Take a look at this number. That's nearly $48.3 billion. That's the projected export earnings for Bangladesh in the next fiscal year alone. Now, this isn't just some random statistic. It's proof of a massive industrial engine, one that's deeply woven into the global market.
And that, right there, is the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually tap into this huge market in a way that's smart and profitable? Well, answering that means we've got to look beyond the obvious, and that's exactly where we're going to start.
Right, so let's dive into the core opportunity. Because while that Made in Bangladesh label is probably familiar to you, the story behind it is changing, and it's changing fast. It's so much bigger than you probably think. When most people think about sourcing from Bangladesh, their mind immediately jumps to clothes, to apparel. And, for good reason. Ready-made garments are the undisputed king here, making up about 80% of the country's exports. That's built a truly world-class system for production and quality. But here's the thing, and this is the crucial point. That's not the whole story anymore. Not by a long shot. The real strategic opportunity today is in how the country is rapidly branching out into all kinds of other sectors. And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look, over on the left, you've got those legacy strengths we talked about: garments, jutes, home textiles. But check out that middle column. Footwear, leather goods, ceramics, even pharmaceuticals. These are becoming huge export categories. And then all the way on the right, you've got the digital frontier opening up with ICT and IT services. This proves Bangladesh is a source for way more than just physical goods. Okay, but trying to navigate a market that's changing this fast, well, that brings up a whole new set of challenges. Tapping into these new industries means you need real, on-the-ground expertise. You need to understand the local vibe. This is where the human element becomes absolutely critical. In a market this massive and this dynamic, just guessing is a recipe for disaster. You need a partner who hasn't just watched the market grow, but who has actually been a part of that growth. Someone who knows the ins and outs and can connect you with the right people. And to see what that looks like in the real world, just look at the career path of someone like MD Joynal Abdin. His journey shows this deep dive into the country's economic engine. He started at the SME Foundation helping small businesses, then moved to the super influential Dhaka Chamber of Commerce, helping shape trade policy, and now he's leading organizations like TNIB to directly connect Bangladesh with the rest of the world. And all of that experience, it shapes a totally different philosophy. The goal isn't just to be a consultant who pops in and out. It's to be a true, long-term strategic partner. We're talking about moving beyond one-off deals to building supply chains that are strong and sustainable for the long haul. But hey, let's get real for a second. International sourcing is never a walk in the park. It has its challenges. To really succeed, you have to understand the maze before you try to find your way through it. And these are the big ones. Finding a supplier who just isn't the right fit, dealing with quality that's great one shipment and not so great the next, or finding out about compliance gaps when it's already too late. Look, these aren't just Bangladesh problems, they're sourcing problems that happen everywhere. The key is having a system to deal with them. So how do you build that system? Well, it all comes back to that idea of a strategic partner. Someone who can take the potential chaos of global sourcing and turn it into a disciplined, predictable process. This slide just nails it. For every single one of those common risks, there's a specific, disciplined solution. You avoid a supplier mismatch by doing rigorous vetting up front. You prevent quality gaps with constant inspections during the process, not just at the end. You solve compliance issues with serious due diligence. It's all about being proactive, not reactive. And this is exactly what that proactive system looks like in practice. A clear 5-step path. It all starts with finding the right suppliers, not just any supplier. Then it's about matchmaking, developing samples, and, so important, hands-on quality control while things are being made, all the way through to getting the logistics right. This kind of structure is what turns risk into real reliability. So, after all that, what does this actually mean for you? If you're looking at Bangladesh as a potential sourcing hub, what's the one big thing you should take away from all this?
Well, at the end of the day, the proof is in the results, right? Take a look at this feedback from a Canadian client. The key phrases here: strategic insight, market understanding, hands-on support. These aren't just nice compliments. They're the direct results you get from a disciplined partnership.
And here's another one, hitting that same theme of professionalism and reliability. Notice how they focus on clear communication and understanding of cross-border dynamics. This is the stuff that builds the trust you need for a partnership to actually work.
So, when you boil it all down, this is the formula for success. You take the undeniable advantages that Bangladesh brings to the table, its competitive costs, its incredible production capacity, and you combine them with disciplined, expert coordination. That combination, right there, is what unlocks real, sustainable growth.
So the question really isn't if Bangladesh is a global manufacturing powerhouse. It clearly is. The real question you need to ask yourself is this: is it the right strategic move to transform your supply chain? Because with a market that's diversifying and a clear path to success, the opportunity is definitely there.